The pattern of love we are both learning and then teaching through example, through being that beacon of light as twin flames, is so radically different from the traditional understanding of love and relationships. I sometimes call this traditional way of looking at love and relationships the matrix of conditional love. We all are essentially programmed into this matrix of conditional love that is very highly transactional, meaning it is very much about what we are giving in order to get back something in return from others, particularly within our romantic relationships. As twin flames, one of the most challenging aspects of this journey is unlearning, unraveling all of these conditionally loving frequencies and ideas that become so unconsciously absorbed into our subconscious. And through this absorption process, what very often happens is we then find ourselves feeling very emotionally reactive, feeling sensations of fear, anxiety, doubt, uncertainty. A lot of this that we're picking up isn't even ours, and we are more susceptible even than others to picking up on these negative frequencies because most twin flames are very ancient, highly evolved souls and are therefore highly sensitive. This frequency of conditional love is all around us. It is in movies, it is in music, in books, in conversations, and very dominant on social media sites. And when we absorb or expose ourselves to these kinds of conversations, interactions, ideas, they can influence us beneath our knowledge, beneath that threshold of the conscious mind. And the reason I am beginning this reading today, this is going to be a twin flame reading video, but I wanted to start by saying all of that because I've been receiving a lot of downloads, especially within the last 24 to 48 hours, about twin flames worldwide who are struggling to, I just heard purify the self, meaning to purge out all of these negative thoughts, limiting ideas and beliefs, specifically in regards to love and relationships, that they are then unconsciously laying over their own twin flame path and then judging their twin flame experience from this human perspective, from this very conditionally loving perspective that is just entirely outside of and different from twin flame love and twin flame connection, which many people do not understand within the collective. So I really hope that today's twin flame reading provides you with some kind of clarity or guidance. I always say this, but my only goal through these readings is to connect you back with you, meaning to connect your 3D conscious, physically oriented self back with your higher self, with your soul self, with that part of you that is highly intuitive and all-knowing. That's compass within you that we call intuition, that is always pointing to your true north, that always has the answers for you and your twin flame path specifically. So if you were drawn to this video, I do believe that it is for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences or accidents in this universe. Everything is synchronicity. We line up with and are met with what we are. We meet the people, and not just people, but also the information we need precisely when we are destined to meet with it. So I hope that through this reading, I can help to provide you something that you need at this time along this journey. I do channel many different hyper-specific as well as collective messages for twin flames worldwide. So if you do want me to channel specific messages for you and your situation, be sure to like the video and also be sure that you are subscribed to this channel, because by liking and subscribing, I'm able to pick up better on your energy and channel more specifically for you based on that energy. So I'm just shuffling the Moonology deck right now. I don't normally pull cards from this deck, but I'm feeling really guided to it. I feel like there is some message to kick off this reading here in this deck. By the way, if the messages do resonate, I will leave a link to the extended version of this reading under this video in the pinned comment and description. That extended version is available in my Twin Flame Soul Tribe community on Patreon. So I'm going to go ahead and set my own intentions for this reading. And as I was saying that, a card fell out. But my intention is to channel clear, specific, and helpful messages today for the Twin Flame Collective or for whoever may be drawn to this reading. So you can set your own intentions either out loud to yourself within your own mind, or you can type them in the live chat if you're watching this live, or even write it as a comment, whatever you feel guided to do. And let's see what this first card holds for us. Wow, I just felt a wave of powerful energy from this card. This card says, believe in the impossible, blue moon. This goes along with that saying, once in a blue moon. Something that happens so infrequently, it seems almost impossible. I want to know what feels impossible here. What feels impossible in this situation? Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So there is something about balance feeling impossible within this twin flame connection, or this is kind of a collective energy we're feeling right now. I'm going to shuffle the energy oracle cards to get more specific messages on what feels impossible in regards to balance. So why does balance feel impossible? Okay, happy family in the upright position. This card is the number 4 card, so if you've been seeing a lot of the number 444, there may be a message for you in here somewhere. I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook about this card. Closeness, fun, caring, joy and celebration, close connections, value in a truly loving relationship, higher vibration, a celebration, a marriage, a family. So there's some kind of message emerging here. This is very interesting because this card is incredibly celebratory. It's a very positive card. However, I feel like this kind of has a light at the end of a seemingly endless tunnel kind of energy to me right now. I feel like someone has this vision for their twin flame connection or something that they desperately want that feels incredibly impossible at times. I don't think it always feels impossible, but I do think that at times, and particularly potentially in the last 24 hours or 48 hours, someone has felt these doubts and fears resurfacing, as I feel they do for this person from time to time, in regards to something about having this closeness with this person in the physical, having this manifested stable union. This could even literally be a family, an engagement, a marriage that when your mind wanders, you think about with this person. But I feel, again, it's like this light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel seems almost endless. And as I was speaking, another card came out here. Yeah, community in the reverse. I just heard, but I wake up and I'm alone. So there may be someone who is dreaming about this kind of a future, or just dreaming about having a greater closeness with their twin than they actually do in the physical. There may be times where in your dream state, you find yourself really intimately connecting with your twin flame, and then you wake up and the loneliness hits like a ton of rocks. I'm really getting that energy for someone listening. I feel like that tunnel that I was referring to earlier is that loneliness. The loneliness is what seems to be the endless tunnel. I heard someone saying, am I just destined to be alone forever? And that statement comes from a very deep-seated pain point that I want to get into more information on. The words biggest, freedom, and fish came out in the love word scramble. With the word freedom, I heard freedom is so lonely. There's someone here who has recently broken free from something. This could be a negative family dynamic, a toxic friend group, a negative workplace environment, or a job that felt like it wasn't for them or wasn't truly bringing them to life on a soul level. This could be so many different things, but I feel that there's freedom leading to loneliness here. This could even be a relationship someone broke free of. It's like, I'm free, but I'm lonely. That's the message I'm getting from this person. So I want to see if I can channel some more information on what is going on with this person who feels free from something, but also lonely. So let's start with potentially what this person could be breaking free from. So I'm going to reshuffle the energy oracle cards and just get into more information here. So what is this person breaking free of? Okay, man holding a heart upright. So I'm clearly feeling a divine feminine here who has recently broken free of some kind of a relationship with a divine or just a masculine energy. It could be a divine masculine or just any kind of masculine energy. I'm going to be channeling many different specific scenarios and situations for different people here. So be aware that not all of these specific scenarios will apply for you personally. Only take what resonates with you. But there is definitely someone here who has recently gone through some kind of a breakup, a divorce, a breaking off of an engagement, moving out from their romantic partner's place. There's some kind of break that has happened here for someone in regards to love and relationships. I heard in the last 3 to 4 months, so recently for this person, potentially up to the last 6 months, but this has definitely happened between last December, January to now. And I want to see if I can get more information for this person specifically. So what is this romantic situation that this person broke free from? I heard I had to leave, but now I'm so lonely. It's like, I feel like I'm never going to find love again. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this person specifically. Who is it that broke free of this romantic relationship with a masculine and got freedom, but also loneliness? Cracked open, rock bottom, surrendered to the alchemy. So this experience for this person could have led to a very deep period of intense purging or grief, a feeling of being cracked open on a soul level. The words whispered, your, and central, for some reason with central, I heard Central Park, if that's connecting with you some way. With whispered, I heard like my intuition was whispering to me all along that I needed to end this situation, that I needed to step back, but I didn't want to listen. That's kind of what I'm hearing. This could be any kind of masculine energy. Again, this isn't necessarily a twin flame situation. And again, I'm channeling many different scenarios, so this won't apply for everyone. But for whoever is connecting with this, I am going to read a little bit about this card from the guidebook, the Starseed Oracle. This is one of my new decks. I have really loved it so far. I would highly recommend it. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home, into your body, into the center front of your life. It's through the extreme pressure of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds, and in ways we could only dream were possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen. So surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. When your heart cracks open, a space is created for your soul to more fully enter. Wow, very beautiful message from the Starseed Oracle. I normally don't read that much from the guidebook, but I strongly felt someone connecting with that message while I was reading. This sensation of being broken from the perspective of the ego and perhaps even the judgments of other people who are looking at the situation. But on a soul level, what is really happening is through that breaking, you are being broken open. How is this person or situation being broken open through this disconnection with a masculine energy in the recent past? How is this divine feminine being broken open through this situation? Magician and the mirror in the reverse position, signifying twin flames coming into balance. So this tells me either this person you disconnected from, this masculine, was your twin flame counterpart, or alternatively, this person was someone who was a karmic cycle, some kind of connection that needed to be cleared out, that needed to be distanced from in order to create the space for your twin flame to come into your life. But regardless, this is a really interesting download I just got. Regardless of whether, okay, and this won't be for everyone, but whoever's connecting with these messages who has disconnected in the last 3 to 6 months, potentially with some kind of a masculine energy, and it felt like you hit a rock bottom. The interesting thing about this is, regardless of whether this person you disconnected from was your twin flame counterpart or was a different masculine energy, the outcome here is the same. This situation is breaking you open energetically to allow the twin flame energy to enter your life and to enter and grow stronger within this connection. Now, if you do suspect that this person is your twin flame, or regardless of whether this is your twin or not, I also heard surrender just repeated over and over in my mind. You may find my recent video on twin flame surrender helpful to you, because as I often say, we must shift from chaos consciousness, which is a shorthand term for everything I was describing at the beginning of this reading, all of those frequencies of conditional love that become very absorbed in our being through media, through society, through conversations, through judgments of other people, through even our own judgments stemming from the ego and its own fears, its own insecurities. We have to shift ourselves in a powerful way from that chaos consciousness that most of the collective is still entrenched in and living from, to a fully surrendered state. As twin flames, this is what we call creating an energy union with our twin flame in the 5th dimension that then lays the groundwork for manifesting a physical 3D stable reunion state with them. So I've created a subliminal meditation for twin flame surrender. This is specifically created to eliminate those negative beliefs and ideas and frequencies that become stored again below the threshold of our consciousness in the unconscious, in the subconscious mind. And the reason this subliminal works so effectively is because subliminals contain affirmations that are targeted to those subconscious parts of the brain. The subconscious actually controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes, so it really dominates our vibration. This also means that through the portal of the subconscious, we can radically shift our energy very quickly and magnetize ourselves for our desires in life. So as you can see on the screen, on my website, soundandsoulful.com, I've created over 100 subliminal meditations for all areas of life. So I have subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mood shifts like confidence, anxiety relief, happiness, for material manifestations like money or business success, for specific chakra clearing exercises and energy clearing, for love and relationships, and of course for twin flames as well. This twin flame surrender subliminal comes from my website. You can try it out completely free in 4 different background sounds. The music sound has been the favorite so far of those who have given me feedback on this subliminal. And you can try it out or any other subliminal I've created free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website. So the link to this twin flame surrender subliminal, as well as any other subliminals I recommend during the course of this reading, is linked under this video in the pinned comment and description box. With this Magician and the Mirror card signifying balance in the twin flame connection, this is really interesting because this is the very thing that appeared to be impossible at the beginning of this reading. We had Believe in the Impossible, the Blue Moon card, and then the Balance card. And I said that I felt balance was the thing that felt impossible to this person. And I heard through the worst circumstances, the impossible was made possible. It's almost as though from a physical human perspective, I feel someone looking at this situation, just circling back. We were talking about this potential disconnect with a masculine energy and how this was causing a divine feminine to feel as though she was hitting rock bottom, feeling as though she was breaking, but really she was being broken open, leading to an intense period of loneliness. But ironically, this very situation, I heard it's like the worst happened, or there's someone here who it's like they had a fear, a very deep-seated fear throughout the entirety of this connection or relationship that came true. But this situation isn't breaking them as their ego perceives it to be doing. It is actually breaking them open. And it is bringing in that balance that they most deeply desired through their most deeply held fear happening in the physical, if that makes sense. It's kind of this very strange paradox. It's like their greatest fear may have happened with this person in the 3D or in this connection, and yet the thing that they most deeply desired will also happen. The thing that felt so impossible in this connection is being made possible through this alchemizing process that can only take place through the entrance into this open place that this dark situation broke open within the soul of this person. So in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more specifics on exactly what could have happened for different people, different scenarios I'm picking up on for this person, as well as how it could be affecting the masculine in this situation if it was a twin flame that was disconnected from, or regardless, how this is shifting the balance within this twin flame connection through this breaking point, through this rock bottom, this breaking open. So the information on that will be in the extended, which is linked in the pinned comment in description. I'm going to reshuffle the cards here, and since we're getting about 25 minutes into this reading, I want to start speaking to the 3D physical self of both the masculine and the feminine at this time. So what is going on for the divine masculine from a physical 3D perspective? By the way, for those of you who are new, I channel messages from both the 3D human physical perspective as well as the higher self perspective, what we call the 5D perspective, because these two aspects of self and of our connection are always coexisting within us simultaneously. And this means that very often things can be confusing because as a twin flame, the 5D connection, the connectedness, what I call the twin flame connection aspect of our relationship, it always exists beneath all of the physical circumstances and interactions and conversations with this person. This is where we communicate with them through dreams. Sometimes we can experience 5D connection through meditation with practice, which again is why I so highly recommend using subliminal meditation to really get beyond that 3D physical aspect of the mind and connect with our twin flame through the unconscious, through the deeper layers of our energy, that 5D space within us. So I'm going to start in this reading by speaking to the masculine in his 3D aspect, his physical human perspective. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. That is the card that emerged from the Moonology deck. And I want to know what energy is gaining momentum. The word finally came out, so I feel as though this is something that has been long awaited for, potentially on the divine feminine side of things. I almost see a divine feminine a bit outside looking in on this masculine, who could have in some sense had this sensation of waiting for him to fully awaken to the truth of the connection. That might apply to someone, or to become more conscious of some kind of negative pattern or something within himself that needed to be shifted in order to move this connection forward. There's something finally happening that I feel a divine feminine has been waiting for that is now taking place within this masculine. The card Indecision came out here. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So I want to know what this masculine in the 3D is or was indecisive about, because it could be a past energy from this card as well. The country Norway came out in the word scramble, as well as the words suggest and chain. With the word chain, I see someone wearing a chain around their neck, so that might connect with someone's person. But I also heard that this could be symbolic somehow, like this indecision is like a chain. But hopefully we can get into more details on that as I pull clarification cards. So what is this indecision? Patience in the reverse came out here, and I heard a male voice saying, I wanted to be more ready than I was. What does this masculine mean by saying he wanted to be more ready than he was? By the way, when I use the pronouns he and she during these readings in divine feminine and masculine, I'm really just using these terms for shorthand and for clarity, but please be aware that masculine and feminine energies within the twin flame connection can be connected to different biological genders. So these aren't connected to any specific gender. They are just terms that we use to describe dominant energy dynamics. And in fact, we within ourselves can contain and do contain a balance of both feminine and masculine energies. Yes, we do generally have a dominant energy within us. So we often identify as the divine masculine or the divine feminine. But these energies are always in a balance. So at times you may find yourself connecting with some of the messages on both sides, so-called sides of this equation. And at other times you may find yourself resonating with one most strongly. I want to know why this masculine felt as though they weren't ready. I heard someone saying it's like, I wanted to be ready for you, but I wasn't. Wedding, interesting. The situation involves marriage. So this could be someone ready to leave a marriage, end a marriage if your person was married to someone else. This could also be signifying deeper commitment, potentially even getting married to you, or just raising the bar, raising the level of commitment in the physical within this twin flame connection. And I feel this masculine saying like, I wanted to be ready for that greater commitment in the physical. Walking away in the reverse, I heard a masculine saying, and I'm feeling regrets because I feel that if I would have been ready, you wouldn't have walked away. That's what I heard someone saying, because I do feel someone's divine feminine in this situation did walk away because the masculine wasn't ready to either leave something behind or wasn't ready to deepen the level of commitment in the physical. I want to know, and this won't connect with everyone, again, only take what resonates, but I do want to know why this masculine was indecisive and also what is gaining momentum here, because the energy gaining momentum is a very positive omen type of card. But I want to know why this masculine was not ready to commit in the past or raise the level of commitment or walk away from this other situation, potentially a marriage or relationship with someone else. Again, just take it as it connects with you, but why wasn't this masculine ready? The card Courage came out. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So there was a masculine here who was, simply put, afraid. And I'm going to get details on exactly what he could have been afraid of. What was this masculine so afraid of when it came to committing? What was this masculine so afraid of? I literally felt a little bit of a sickness in my stomach. If you're feeling this kind of a sensation and it doesn't have a medical cause, this can indicate some kind of a shift happening in your solar plexus chakra. I just felt guided to share that with someone who might be feeling that as well. Oh my gosh, guys, I just got a wave of goosebumps. This is so synchronistic. I was asking for clarification on how this masculine was afraid of committing. And interestingly, the card that came out is First Quarter Moon. Your commitment is being tested. For some reason, I hear a masculine saying, I didn't trust that you would be committed to me or remain committed to me, so I didn't commit to you in the physical. It's as though this masculine was projecting some fear of not being committed to as a lack of commitment within this connection or a refusal to move forward into a greater level of commitment. That message will probably just be for one or a few people. But I want to know specifically for that situation why that particular masculine was fearing not being committed to. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Let's pull a few more cards here to clarify. Why was this masculine afraid to commit for fear of not being committed to? Where did this fear of commitment come from for this masculine? Hostilities in the reverse position. I just heard this hostilities card is like an inner conflict and something that this masculine was afraid to face within himself, some kind of inner conflict that he was afraid to become conscious of or to face. And something about this twin flame connection triggered that for him. What was this inner conflict that this masculine was afraid to face? I just heard I couldn't face my demons. And the demons were pride and purpose related because the cards pride and purpose came out here. With the word pride, I heard the word stubborn. I feel like there could have been a masculine who was either very stubborn or very prideful in the sense that he could have difficulty admitting to faults or seeing clearly faults within himself or seeing wrongs or something, or could have had this in the past. He could be someone that needed to always be right in an argument or something like that. I'm getting that for someone specifically. I'm also hearing pride could apply for you simply as ego, like my pride being how I am connecting my sense of self-worth to the physical position or material possessions or connections that I have in this earth. But I'm moving from that to purpose, to soul purpose. This is the shift that is occurring and must take place within this masculine. It's like a shift from being very self-oriented in the sense that he has a very strong concept of self versus others. I'm getting kind of a lone wolf vibe from this masculine, kind of this sense of, but this actually comes from this deep sense of distrust in others that could be coming from a deep-seated place of like, I do everything myself and I have a very strong sense of self because I've come to feel as though I can't rely on others. Yeah, the thinking man came out here, connecting with this divine masculine's ego somehow being involved in this situation. And I feel that somehow the divine feminine triggered this self-protecting sense of pride, this self-protecting projection from the ego that then caused him to fear committing to her or to look non-committal. But really it's just because she alchemized some kind of powerful shift that had to take place first within him before he would be capable of sustaining this kind of soul connection. And I feel like this was a shift again from that pride in the sense of very ego-oriented, very physically matrix-oriented would be another way to think of it, into this purpose orientation, into soul purpose, soul mission, authenticity kind of orientation. But I am going to channel more specifics in the extended on exactly how this triggering of ego for this masculine could be playing out within the dynamic between him and the divine feminine. So the link to those messages in the extended is in the pinned comment. So now I'm going to reshuffle the cards here, and we're going to have a conversation with the divine feminine in her 3D physical perspective, and then get into a few higher self messages. So let me get my cards organized here. And let's pull another card from the Moonology deck for the divine feminine, just like we did for the masculine. What is going on with this divine feminine from a physical, human, 3D perspective? Oh my gosh, guys, you will not believe the 3 words that came out from the love word scramble in this order were still upward rising. Still upward rising. The divine feminine is still upward rising. I feel someone needed to hear that, especially if you were that person I was connecting with who had gone through some kind of rock bottom experience. I heard, you will thrive, you will rise, you are rising, not in spite of this, but because of this. Repeat that to yourself over and over if you need to. I am rising, not in spite of this, but because of this. I feel that could be a good mantra for someone listening. What does the divine feminine think or feel from a physical 3D perspective? What's going on here? I heard phases, stages, phases of my life, seasons of my life. How is that connecting with the reading? What's going on here? A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. What did I tell you guys? New phases, new stages, a new cycle. Very synchronistic. So what is this new cycle starting for this divine feminine? Let's pull a few more cards. It's interesting. We've had so many symbols of balance. Even on this card here, there is a picture of scales showing this perfect balance. I heard old cycles being cleared out, bringing in perfect balance. These could be karmic cycles for this divine feminine, so people from her past. I heard a clearing of the womb space, meaning that any kinds of residual energies stored within her lower chakra centers, specifically the root chakra, the sacral chakra. I'm feeling that there could have been intimate connections with previous lovers or ex-romantic partners that are being brought to the surface and cleared. And as I was saying that, the cards acceptance and peace came out here. Acceptance leading to peace. Your acceptance leads to peace. And with the word acceptance, I really equate this with the word surrender. So once again, if you are a divine feminine connecting with this, I would really recommend checking out my twin flame surrender subliminal just to assist you, because there is so much coming up here for you in regards to romantic cycles being cleared out, and many feelings of fear, anxiety, and doubt can be attached to that sensation of purging, of clearing. It's not a linear process. It is a day-to-day clearing, and subliminals can be really helpful for assisting you in that clearing, especially since a lot of this is happening very unconsciously in the lower levels, the deeper levels of our energy field as the collective divine feminine. I feel really guided to read these cards here. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Shifting into peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. And when I saw the term negative energy, I instantly connected that with this new romantic cycle, with the karmic patterns being cleared out. Now, the interesting thing about new, the word new in a new romantic cycle begins within that card. I heard a new cycle with the same energy or the same person. So I feel that there is a very strong awareness for many divine feminines listening of either who your twin flame is in the physical or of your twin flame's energy. And all of the clearing, all of the purging work that is happening within you right now that is requiring this deeper level surrender, this acceptance from you, is laying the way, creating the path for this deepened twin flame connection to flow to you, this new cycle to come in. It's like, once again, you had to be broken to break open, to allow in this new pattern, to allow in this new cycle. And as I was saying all that, the card Imagination came out here. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So I feel that in the physical world, you as the divine feminine could find yourself spending a lot of time alone in your own imaginative mind, either meditating, visualizing, reading, thinking, introspecting, reflecting, journaling, creating, just being kind of with yourself. And I heard this work is more powerful than you realize consciously. I'm also hearing a divine feminine who sometimes judges herself for the time she invests in these kinds of activities of introspection, reflection, creation, visualization. But she is being really guided here to release these self-judgments of the way that she invests time, because I'm using that word very specifically, the word invest, because this time she is spending, she is not just aimlessly spending, fruitlessly spending, she is investing that time in her future self and in the future of this connection. Child of the cosmos came out from the starseed oracle. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. So Spirit here is saying the reason you always feel so guided to go within yourself, meaning to introspect, to create, to imagine. Perhaps lately you've been spending a lot of time alone doing these things. The reason you feel guided to these activities is because you more and more are awakening to the truth that all of the answers are always and only within you. And you are beginning to utilize your gifts of energetic sensitivity in a very powerful way through these kinds of activities, even if they don't appear to be work to others. You are doing very powerful energy work upon yourself. In the card, we are the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. I heard self-mothering as in reparenting. So someone here could be having this shift from unconsciously playing out their inner child wounds within relationships and within life to becoming consciously aware of their own needs and then participating in self-care accordingly to nourish themselves appropriately, according to those needs and desires that they are now aware of. The idea of reparenting oneself is coming up here, meaning providing the kind of support and guidance and kindness, tenderness, healing that we need, that perhaps we may have needed and not received at a younger period of time in our lives, potentially even within childhood from our parents. I feel that there is a divine feminine here being really guided into a radical time of self-care, of self-nourishment, because there is a powerful reparenting process happening here, an integration of all of those past wounded versions of herself into the light of her consciousness, really allowing her to step into the highest, the best best, the most conscious, the most authentic version of herself. If this is you and you feel yourself going through this so-called reparenting process, participating in self-care, integrating those past versions of yourself, I have created an inner child healing subliminal that is really powerful for assisting you in integrating those shadow aspects of self that are often stemming from our childhood memories and childhood experiences. This is really powerful for not only integrating those past experiences, but also catapulting you into the highest version of yourself, the most fulfilled and aligned version of self. So the link to this inner child healing subliminal is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. I am going to pull a few more cards and see if I can get any more information on what this divine feminine in the physical 3D world is experiencing at this time. The energy oracle cards are kind of going silent, so I'm going to turn to some of the other decks here. So what is going on within this divine feminine? Almost dropped the cards there. Within this divine feminine in the physical 3D worlds. Be, feel, receive abundance. All that you desire is achievable. Yeah, I heard some divine feminine telling me, I feel like I spend so much time alone and with myself and in my head. And sometimes I judge myself for the amount of time I spend doing that and for how little sometimes I connect with the physical world around me or socialize with other people. And Spirit is responding here. This is a time of being for you, a time of feeling for you. And through that being and feeling, that deepening of the acceptance, as we said earlier, leading to greater peace, the full conscious realization that, as the card said, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. This is a very powerful piece of the purging process, the releasing of all of those karmic cycles we spoke on earlier that are being cleared out. This is how you are opening yourself to receiving that abundance in whatever the sense abundance means for you. If that's abundance of love, abundance of clarity, material abundance, alignments in your work, whatever the case is. And also the card, it is safe to let go. You are surrounded by love. What is it safe to let go of here? What is this card speaking to? I heard it is safe to let go of the physical aspects of this twin flame connection that you cannot control, that in the past you have been trying to control or change in some way. So this could be that there is some kind of physical or emotional separation between you and your person, and there's a part of you trying to hold on so tight to something that's isn't working out in the physical the way that the ego mind wants it to. So I asked for some clarification in the cards. Deceit, anxiety, and angel of strength in the reverse came out here. And what I heard is, it is safe to let go of the attachment to physical 3D circumstances that could be causing you feelings of intense anxiety. It is safe to release your concerns about the future of this connection or about the past. It is safe to release the need to replay scenarios over and over in your mind that occurred in the 3D and wonder what you could have done differently. It's not that you could have done something differently. It couldn't have happened differently. Everything has happened for you according to divine timing and for a divine purpose. And with the deceit card coming out here, it is safe to let go of I heard letting go of the denial of self, if that connects with you in some way, or self-betrayal, self-deceit. It is safe to see the truth, to see clearly in this situation, to simply accept it for what is, to release your anxieties about it, And also with the Angel of Strength reverse, I heard it is safe to not need to be so strong all the time, which I know sounds kind of strange, but I feel someone here, a divine feminine here, who recently, because potentially of this rock bottom or these feelings of anxiety, has felt the need to project a kind of false confidence or false sense of strength to those around her. And I feel Spirit saying it's like, you don't have to be so strong all the time. You are purging a lot. You are clearing out a lot. You are shifting in such a powerful way, and you will rise. Remember the message, still upward rising. And yet through that rising, you don't have to feel strong all the time. You can allow yourself to process the intense emotions moving through you. And finally, I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Remember who you are. Remember what you came here to do, what you came here to be, even if those around you may not understand your path, your circumstances, or how you are choosing to respond to those circumstances, how you are choosing to spend your time. There is this deep reconnection with self taking place through this rock bottom, through this breaking open, through this period of intense loneliness. So I really hope whatever divine feminine was connecting with those messages reached the guidance she needed to hear at this time. Now I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading here. So if the messages are resonating, you can continue with me in the extended version, which is linked in the pinned comment and description. Also, the subliminals recommended during this reading, the Twin Flame Surrender Subliminal, as well as the subliminal for inner child healing, are both linked in the pinned comment and description as well. These are both very powerful for shifting you energetically, for clearing negative blocks stored within the energy field through the portal of reprogramming the subconscious mind. So more information on how to sign up for a 7-day free trial account on my Subliminal site and access any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created is all linked in the pinned comment and description under this video. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.